Okay. Sound check first, visual. It's okay, everything's fine. Kids, paki-confirm, please, if nakikita nyo yung presentation ko or not. Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. Okay, last and most interesting topic, we're going to talk about the reproductive system. Quiz will be next Friday as usual. It will be from digestive and repro combined. Okay. Yung grades nyo, so far, ang nagbibigay pa lang yung section ni Ma'am Chris and yung section ni Sir Noel. Now, it's difficult to encode kung kulang-kulang kasi in my classes, I have like 48, 46. So, pag nag-encode ka kasi ng kulang-kulang, pag nagkamali, will be something. So, I'm going to wait first for the sections from Miss Julini and the others bago ako mag-encode. Hopefully, by today until Monday, ma-encode na lahat, ha? Anyway, you have partial grades already from the lab. So, kung ano yung grade nyo sa lab, yun din ang grade nyo sa LEC. Now, for the additional points in the last quiz, I think it will be better to add it for the finals para tumaas naman yung points nyo for the final CS. Right? So, wag na natin siyang i-include sa quiz 4. Would you agree? Would everyone agrees? I hope. Okay? So, para kung medyo dehado kayo doon sa sa quiz nyo for digestive and repro at saka sa respi, i-add ko na lang doon. Okay? Let's decide which quiz I shall add on to. So, yung mga may additional points sa quiz 4, I will ask for the names from the class reps para makita natin later. Okay, reproductive system. Okay. Now, let's start with the male first. Okay. The primary reproductive organs are, of course, okay, we're talking of the gonads. So, both male and female gonads yan. Primary organs. So, when you refer to the gonads, you think of the testes for the male and you think of the ovaries for the female. So, for the male, the primary reproductive organ is the testis, and it is assisted by the accessory structures like the ducts and the glands. So, let's start first with the testis. Now, this is the testis. Okay, olive size, 4 by 2.5 centimeters. Externally, it is surrounded by a connective tissue sheath called the tunica albuginea, which invaginates, so goes inward, invaginates, dividing the testis into compartments called lobules. Okay. Inside the lobules are tubes called seminiferous tubules, which are the sperm factories. So take note, the seminiferous tubules are the sperm factories. The seminiferous tubules converge at the medial side of the testis to form a tubular coil structure known as the retitestis, which then eventually will drain as the efferent ductules, going and proceeding towards the epididymis. So, kumbaga, the tubules are continuous from the seminiferous tubules to the retitestis to the efferent ductules, going down to the epididymis. Okay. If we're going to cut a section of the seminiferous tubules, you will show this diagrammatic structure showing two types of cells. The cells in the interstitium known as the Leydig cells, so interstitial cells of Leydig, which produce a hormone called testosterone. Okay, so everyone knows what testosterone does. It is responsible for the secondary sexual characteristic development in the male. So from a male child producing now or proceeding to what you call a male adult child. So later with, male adult. Later we'll be discussing the characteristics, the changes that occur with your testosterone. Now, together with this, in between the cells, you have supportive cells known as the Sertoli cells. So, Sertoli cells nourish your spermatocytic cells. So, they nourish the spermatocytic cells. At the same time, they will be the one responsible for the maturation. So, as the sperm cells mature, and when they are already mature, they actually separate from the Sertoli detachment in a process called spermiation. So again, we will discuss this in physiology of reproduction. Okay, so we're done with the testis. Let's go to the ductal system. We start with the epididymis. The epididymis is a comma-shaped structure located on top of the testis, measuring about 20 feet long. Now, what's the function of the epididymis? It is responsible for the maturation of sperms. So in the epididymis, the sperms stay for 20 days, in which further maturation or completion of the maturation process occur. Once they are mature, upon sexual stimulation, the walls of the epididymis are composed of muscles. Okay, so smooth muscles. They now contract to expel the sperm. Okay. Second is the ductus deferens or the vas deferens. So the vas deferens runs upward. Aakyat siya. Lalabas siya sa inguinal canal. This is the inguinal canal. Goes in front of the urinary bladder. So aakyat towards the urinary bladder. Lateral to the bladder and then proceeds posterior of the bladder. Okay, I repeat. It runs upward, enters the inguinal canal, anterior to the bladder, lateral to the bladder, and then posterior. On the posterior portion of the bladder, it now combines with the duct of the seminal vesicle to form what you call the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so function of the vas deferens, to propel the live sperms from the storage site. So from the epididymis, lalabas siya ng vas deferens going now to the urethra. Sorry. So during the process of ejaculation, peristaltic movement made by the skeletal muscles of your vas deferens smooth muscles of the vas deferens squeezes sperms forward. Now, as they go forward, so habang umakyat yung sperms nyo dito, pupunta dyan, okay? These are the glands. We have the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands. These glands now contribute secretions, and the sperms plus the secretions will form what you call your semen. By the way, the vas deferens is also the one which is being dissected or cut during the vasectomy process. Now, let's go to the urethra. So, let's orient ourselves. This is the bladder, urinary bladder. The urethra extends downward from the base of the bladder and divides into three parts. The first portion enters the prostate glands. Hence, it is called the prostatic urethra. And then, it exits towards the soft tissue here, becoming now the membranous urethra. And then it enters the penis, becoming the spongy or the penile urethra. Again, during the ejaculation process, okay, sometimes you will ask, Ma'am, pag ba nagjajakul ako, okay, pwede bang kasabay ng ihi? Sa males, no. In the females, yes. When they ejaculate, pwedeng lumabas yung ihi. But in the males, no. Why? Because during the process of ejaculation, nakikinig silang lahat, tahimik ang mundo. Yay! Okay? So, during the process of ejaculation, there's a sphincter here at the base of the bladder which closes, shutting off the flow of urine. So, therefore, ang lumalabas lang will be sperms from your epididymis, lalabas siya ng vas deferens, okay, dadaan sa may seminal vesicle, magko-contribute siya ng secretions, dadaan sa may prostate, secretions, dadaan sa may bulbourethral secretions, forming semen now, which comes out. Okay. Now, let's go to the glands. So, a while ago, we said that semen is composed of the sperm plus the secretions from the accessory glands. We have three glands. The first here is the seminal vesicle. located at the base of the bladder, contributing 60% of the volume of the semen, which is a thick yellowish secretion. Now, this secretion is high in fructose plus vitamin C. Why? These are food for your sperms. Together with this, you have prostaglandins, which activate the sperms. Okay. So from there, again, ititrace natin. Sabi natin kanina, the vas deferens goes anterior, lateral to the bladder, posterior to the bladder, and then combines with the ampulla of the vas deferens to form the ejaculatory duct. Diba? So the secretions now from your seminal vesicle exit towards the ejaculatory duct together with your sperms. Now, pagdaan nyo sa ejaculatory duct, andito naman si prostate gland. Prostate gland contributes 30% of the volume of the semen. It's a chestnut-shaped structure, again located posteriorly at the base of the bladder. Okay. This time, it secretes a milky fluid, this time again full of prostaglandins, which will activate the sperms. Then, the semen goes out here, and at the base of the penis, you will see the bulbourethral glands, or sometimes we call it the Cowper's glands, because it was discovered by Dr. Cowper. Okay? So, the Cowper's glands, by the way, are very small. Pea-size lang siya, inferior to the prostate, and they only produce a thick, clear mucus. Actually, this is the first to be passed during the process of ejaculation. And again, the question comes, Ma'am, nag-pre-ejac ako. Mabubuntis ba siya? More or less, 99% of what pass is just mucus. Secretions lang yan from the Cowper's. But of course, you're not so sure. Kasi baka nga naman, nag-facilitate masyado yung movement ng sperms. Pagdaan dito, may konting sperms na siya. But again, you have to consider the acidity of the vagina. So the acidity of the vagina kills most of the sperms. Kaya pag konti lang yung na-ejaculate, most probably hindi mabubuntis yung babae. Okay? I like this. You're very quiet when it comes to interesting topics, right? Now, semen, as I said, is a combination of the sperm plus the secretions from the prostate, the bulbourethral, and the seminal vesicles. Now, the semen is alkaline. So, the alkalinity of the semen will actually neutralize the acidity of the female vagina. Okay. The semen serves as a dilution for the sperm so that they can swim. So, it aids in their motility. Now, per ejaculate, you have approximately 2 to 5 ml containing 50 to 130 million sperms per ml. Okay? So, this is the normal count. Should be the normal count. Per ml, 50 to 130 million. Now, it is said that if you have less than 20 million sperms per ml, this contributes to what you call infertility or inability to fertilize the egg. Okay. Now, this is Mr. Sperm. It has 3 parts, the head, the midpiece, and the tail. So, the tail basically is a flagellum, which aids in your motility. Okay. So, it's a flagella. The midpiece contains your mitochondria. Of course, if you have mitochondria there, it talks about ATP, which is the power that propels the sperm. Okay. And then the head. Now, look at the head. The middle part is the nucleus. It contains the genetic material. But on top of the nucleus, you will see this structure. And we call this the acrosomal cap, or simply the acrosome. Okay. The acrosome is actually embedded with enzymes. We have protease and hyaluronidase, which enables the sperm to penetrate the thick covering of the ovum. So, ito si ovum. Si ovum, meron siyang makapal na cells. Theca cells. Yan. Okay? Corona radiata ang tawag natin dyan. I-explain ko mamaya. Plus, merong connective tissue covering it, the zona pellucida. So it is actually the acrosomal cup with the enzymes that penetrate here. Once nasira niya yung covering, the genetic component now combines with the genetic component of the ovum, and you now have a zygote. Okay. Now let's go to the external genitalia. Can I have a drink, please? Okay. Thank you. So the external genitalia, we're still in the male, huh? Scrotum, butilog in Ilocano. Okay? So the scrotum is a sac of skin. Wait, is that? Sorry. Hello? Yes. Okay. For a while, kids, ha? Pause lang muna. 5-minute break.
Kaalaan da tito, ni titong nga
Chicharon bulaklak raga. Natin mo yung adobo, sabi ko. Ayun na. Pwede ba? Cross-contamination. Pag si tita Ken yung kasama mo na galit. Yan na lang po. Kuya, isa nga po, ano yan? Mango milkshake. Ano yun? Mango shake. Yes po. Uy, tama na. Gusto mo ng...
Sana all.